Dino ball.
Dino Ball,
Dino ball.
Dino Ball,
Dino ball.
Dino Ball.
Welcome back to episode 21 of the Do You Know Ball podcast. I am one of your co-hosts, Pat,
And I'm the
and
other one.
yep,
Yeah.
yep. All right, we're gonna go straight into the topics today because I want to just jump straight into Mr. Debut Boy, Paul Skenes.
Livy
Kind
Dunn's boyfriend.
kind of an odd day for him. Pretty good, pretty bad. I don't know. Let's just talk about it. So 4 innings pitched. Gave up 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts. He started off the game pretty strong. He got 2 strikeouts to open up the game, and they got a flyout. So he had a pretty damn good first inning. Then he got some run support from his fellow teammates. He got 4 runs, 3-run homer by Connor Joe. Then he got a solo shot from O'Neal Cruz, so that gave the Pirates a 4-0 lead. And then he kind of bended a little bit in the bottom half of the fourth inning. He gave up a homer to Nico Horner. It was a pretty solid pitch to hit, and Nico pulled it, pulled it down the line. It just snuck over the wall. Um, and then he came in to start the fifth. But it he couldn't obviously finish it because he gave up 2 hits. He gave up a double to Mike Talkman, and then he gave up an infield single to Suzuki. Um, but he had to be pulled. Got pulled from the game. Those runs would then come around to score, so that's why he totaled up 3 earned runs on the day. Overall, though, what are your thoughts on Skeens to open up his MLB career?
Oh yeah, Livy Dunn's boyfriend was honestly great today. You know, um, probably the most hyped up pitching prospect debut since Steven Strasburg. I mean, I can't really think of another person off the top of my head. Number one overall pick in the draft most recently. He's going to be great for years. Really, it's not on him. Though some of those runs should not really be put onto him. The bullpen came in and just, the Pirates bullpen do what they do best. They give the Yankees good players and they destroy their own franchise in the process. Walks, hit by pitches, singles, whatever they were doing. I did not see the entirety of the game. I just kind of read a little summary of it on Twitter. But the Pirates bullpen continued to crumble, kind of, ruined Skeens' debut a little bit, but nonetheless, Skeens himself was great. His pitches were nasty. He's gonna keep continuing to be a force to be reckoned with in a very weak NL West division. And who knows? NL Central, my apologies. He's gonna be very good in the NL Central division and I'm excited for him to just continue to be what he is. But him and Livy are just going to be the new Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift of the MLB. That's all I see.
Probably, yeah.
I looked up Paul Skenes on Twitter today, and all that came up was Livy. Nothing even about Paul himself. It was all Livy. Livy did an interview, whatever. No hate to Livy, but it's just that's all we're gonna see. So playing into the joke a little bit, Livy's boyfriend.
Yeah, he's got nasty stuff.
Yeah.
Nasty stuff. He's coming out of the gate throwing multiple 100-mile-per-hour pitches.
hmm Struck out his
102,
first batter.
101.
Yeah.
Yeah. 102, 101. Um, and you know, I just hope that he doesn't do what most pitchers have been doing. Like Strider throws that 100+ mile an hour pitches, but Strider got hurt. So
Mhm.
I feel like you got to really watch out because as we mentioned in previous podcasts, the pitch clock also plays a lot of puts a lot of stress
Yeah.
on each player's arm, each pitcher's arm, and also um when you're constantly throwing 100 miles per hour, constantly throwing so fast, that could also put a lot of tension on your arm. So he's got to know when to mix it up properly and use his other pitches, but he did pretty good. I mean, a lot of his pitches were gross, and it wasn't just like, oh, you're just looking at overpowering fastballs. It's like a lot of other stuff too. It's like I think they called it a splinker. I have no idea.
What?
I have no idea. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure John Heyman tweeted about it. Um, and
I can look.
he called it a splinker, but I think it's like a mixture of a split finger and a sinker, and it just like I don't know. I don't know. That's what he called it, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, though.
I mean, I'm looking at John Heyman. It might be here. I just might not be able to find it.
Hold on,
Let me
I'm
hold on.
gonna multitask with you because I'm pretty sure I saw him tweet this out today about Skeens.
Oh, Jeff Passan. Jeff Passan says Paul Skenes' splinker is nasty. It's one thing to average 100 miles an hour with a four-seamer, but to pair that with a 95 mile per hour hybrid with crazy vertical movement is borderline unfair, and Skenes uses it both as a strikeout pitch
Mhm.
and to steal strikes early in the count.
See what I mean?
And I'm looking at a video of that splinker right now. Hold on. Let me see this bad boy in action. Uh, yeah, that's a
That's what I
funny
said.
pitch.
It's weird. It's weird. But you know what? Like he's not even some pitches he didn't even throw. Like to strike a strikeout pitch, like a as a third pitch to get the batter out. It wasn't even like a 101 100 mile an hour fastball. It was a nasty like 87 mile an hour. Either that hard splinker or it's like a slider that he threw that was pretty nasty that got batters out, got batters
Hmm.
looking.
Hmm.
So he's gonna be dirty. He's gonna be dirty. But another thing I want to mention that's just like not even like Skeens related. I think it was said today that McCutcheon was around
Yeah.
for, I believe, not only Skeens' debut now, but 11 years ago or something like that. He was there for, I'm pretty sure, was it
He
Strasburg?
he was the leadoff batter for Strasburg's
There
MLB
you go.
debut, or what he was the leadoff batter for the Pirates when Strasburg was making his MLB debut, and he's the leadoff batter today for the Pirates when Paul Skenes made his MLB debut. So kind of
Yeah.
shows you the passage of time, but Andrew McCutcheon stays forever Iron Man.
Yeah. It was pretty cool to see, but yeah, this kid's got gross stuff, and I think
Mhm.
that this is just the beginning of his great career on the Pirates, or to
Yeah.
start off his MLB career. I think he's gonna be a very key piece. And you know what? The also another thing to mention before we move on from this is the energy, the pure energy in the Pirates stadium was off the
Yeah. Hmm.
charts.
Hmm.
Off the charts. I mean, just to watch this again, like you said, one of the most hyped pitchers debut in a long time. A long time. Um and yeah, this kid's got gross stuff, and I hope he does great things for the MLB.
Hmm.
Now, I wanna move on to something that hits a little close to home, but it needs to be talked about, and it's something that was mentioned on MLB Network, and I want to just bring it to our podcast. I want to see what we think about it, especially you. I mean, I know you're a Yankee fan, but I'm
I
putting
am.
my bias aside. You put your hatred or bias aside for the Mets.
I don't hate the Mets. I just feel bad. But continue.
Okay. Well, I just want to look at this and I want to really ponder this because the Mets obviously they've had their bad stretch to open up the season. They wanted a little bit of a good stretch. Now they're back to bad. Um and it really begs the question of should the Mets move Alonso if they're 500 at the deadline or below 500 at the deadline? Should they move him? They get value for him while they still can, while they can still get something out of it? Because they if they feel like there's even the slightest chance where they might not land him in the off season, maybe it's best that they get value in during the season while they still have him, and so they don't walk away with nothing. But he's the franchise guy, and I feel like you need to get him. But I'm gonna put that aspect, that way of thinking, away for now, and I want to talk about what has been happening. So He was offered in his walk year, he was offered 7 years, $158 million in his walk year, but obviously he declined and he went to Boris. He didn't want to go to Boris. He went to Boris for a reason, and that reason is because he wants to get paid. He wants to get paid like guys like Judge. He wants to get paid like the homegrown talent that he is, the face of the franchise that he is. So obviously he wants that big bucks, a lot of money. Um, and obviously, I mean, you're not gonna you fuck Jesus. I mean,
Getting
you're not gonna it's just so rough. It's so rough to talk about this because it hits so close to home. But David Stearns, obviously, you're not gonna want to trade a guy like Alonso because you can't do that your first really year coming in. You're gonna face a lot of hatred, a lot of discredit over that because it's kind of like the Heim Bloom situation where he traded Mookie Betts. You can't do that really the first year. Um,
We're
your
not
first,
comparing Pete Alonso to Mookie Betts, are we?
no, they're not. It's like apples to oranges, but it's kind of like the same situation. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like it's
Well,
well,
one
obviously
team,
No, no, no. Obviously Mookie Betts. Let me stop it. Obviously Mookie Betts is a ton better than Pete Alonso. But
yeah,
it's kind of like the
Miles.
situ it's apples to oranges. But it's kind of like the same situation. That's what I'm trying to say. Same situation.
I
Because
mean,
I
the Red Sox are coming off a World Series win.
um again, it's like the same situation because I think the Mets don't really have a future if you don't have Alonso with them. I think Alonso needs to be a part of that future.
Look, yeah, okay,
Um,
so I do want to say this though. If they do not bring back Pete Alonso, that is Steve Cohen should sell the team because you
yeah.
are the richest owner in the league and you pride yourself on being a Mets fan and you want to bring the Mets back to glory and make them good again. And you did that like a couple off seasons ago. You made them a 101 win team and you
Hmm.
got guys like Marte, you got Scherzer, you signed Verlander the year after, even though it didn't really work out well. But I did the math and it was reported they offered him what, 7 years, 158 million?
Yeah,
Is
I
that
mentioned that.
real?
I
That's
mentioned that.
that's $22.5 million dollars. If they are genuinely offering Pete Alonso $22.5 million per year, I would leave. That's ridiculous. He wants to be paid like Aaron Judge. He does not deserve close to 40 million. I would say Pete's close to 30 million player, maybe 30 million. I wouldn't be,
I think
upset if
30,
he got
35,
if
30, 35 million
I wouldn't give him
around in
35.
that ballpark.
I
I
would
don't
give him
think
30.
like
I
again
would give him
30,
30.
35, 30, 35. I feel like
30
that's a good net
35
range.
pushing it. 35 is pushing it.
35 might be pushing it, but I'm saying he did look, he's the face of the Mets. You don't have a future. The future is supposed to be built around him.
Hmm.
Like I feel like if you don't have Alonso in the lineup, where do you go? Because like the more the years go on, the more we're gonna get into the back half of Lindor's career. You don't have Marte for that much longer, and then you have Nimmo, who's a really good outfielder, but like the
Oh,
more the
yeah.
years go on with him because they just signed him to a longer contract. Um, he's getting into the back half of his career, and guys like Jeff McNeil, you're gonna start to part away from because you got guys in the farm system like Acuna and Jet Williams who are going and Ronnie Mauricio who are probably gonna take his spot. I don't roll your eyes
I'm
because
not. I'm not.
I'm just saying because they're going to take his job because Jeff McNeil has not been that good and he's only been really really truly productive. I mean, he was an all-star early on in his career. He won the batting champ in 2022, but the past 2 years they're gonna try to shy away from him because they got young guys. They're gonna go with the new wave of players.
Hmm.
And so I feel like he's gonna get moved soon too. Um But yeah, there's gonna be no future for this team if you don't get Alonso.
Well, I think even if you get Alonso, I don't really see a path like to a championship with Alonso.
Well, there's other aspects to it. There's other aspects to it. It can't be just Alonso, but you need to have him on the roster to at least envision that future.
Hmm.
Because again, like we said
Sure.
in the beginning
Hmm.
of the year, I know I said it on the pod. This is 2024 is a see what you have year. And we've said that, we've talked about that many times. I've said that many times. Um, and we're looking in 2025 to actually try to make a push to to the playoffs and to make a deep run, and we want to win. But if you don't add Alonso, a guy that's been so good, a power bat's been so good for so long for us, then I don't know how you fulfill that promise in the future. I don't know
Hmm.
how you fulfill that promise of being competitive, being
Yeah.
really truly competitive in the future.
I think if you let Alonso walk, I think you should just like start new. I think you should trade Lindor. I think you should just get rid of Nimmo. Oh, it's gonna be hard, but I mean Nimmo's contract was 8 million, 100, no, 8 years,
8 years.
162 million. That's like almost identical to what Alonso's offered. If you value them like this and not like
That's a
this,
bad
then
sign.
there's a real
That's a bad
problem.
sign.
There's a
Yeah.
real problem. So I don't, I mean, at this rate, I think Pete wants to stay loyal. I don't think he's a snake. Like, I think he wants to genuinely be a Met. I feel bad for him. I don't know why, but um, yeah, I just
Dude,
don't
I
see
hope
him.
so.
I,
I
I
I
don't,
I, I hope that he wants to be a Met because I believed that same thing about a certain someone a few years ago, maybe a year or two ago now,
is he a pitcher?
to the date. Yeah,
Did,
I
did he
believed
did he
I
win? Did he
believed
just win a ring though recently? I'm
I
just
did.
curious.
He did.
So it's
Jacob
that one.
deGrom. I believed that
So
about a certain pitcher.
didn't he make the right business decision though? And
For him, of course,
didn't the
but
Mets offer him less money
he
though?
contributed nothing. Let's
I'm
not
just saying it's
let's
not
not
like he got offered the same thing.
but
I
let's
mean,
not shy away from the fact that he contributed absolutely nothing to that ring. Absolutely nothing.
he has a
Maybe
ring.
maybe maybe wisdom
He
upon the
has
younger
more
pitchers,
rings than the Mets have
but
had in what, 3 decades?
and that all
Four
while that
decades?
all may be true, he contributed nothing to that Texas Rangers championship. Put your bias aside. Stop doing this. Stop trying to start something.
I'm not. I'm just
You're trying to stir the pot.
you
It's not
trying to
happening.
trash on him when the Rangers offered
I'm
him
not
more
trashing on
money.
him.
They offered him an extra year,
Look,
more
look,
money
look,
than the Mets offered him,
look. I'm
and
not.
he
I'm
got
not
a ring
trashing
out
on
of it.
him.
He made a right business
I'm not
decision.
trashing on him. I'm not trashing on him. I'm just saying I felt a certain way about a certain someone being Jacob deGrom.
Yes, but
I felt the
but
way I felt that he would never leave. I felt that
okay, but
he was
that's
going to
not
be a
on
Met for
him.
life. No, it's not on him. I'm
The
not saying
front
it's on him.
office
Look,
lowballed him.
look. I'm not saying it's on him, but I felt that we were never going to lose him. I felt that regardless, he was going to be a Met for life, a Met
Hmm.
for life. There was no shot on planet Earth that he was going to leave, and then he did. And then he
Hmm.
signed with the Rangers. And I remember how I felt. So again, I have to try to wrap my head around the fact that it may happen. We may move Alonso. It may it may end up that way. Um, and we may just keep him for the rest of this year. We may lose him in the offseason. I have to prepare myself for that possibility because you can't rule that out.
Hmm.
You can't rule that out. But you know, I feel like we've covered as much as we're gonna cover on that. And Matt, if you want to introduce the next one, move on to the
Uh,
next segment.
let's yeah, let's shy away from the Mets. Sorry if you guys are asleep. You can wake up now. Um, let's talk about something fun, right? I hope you guys like some food, right? Do you guys like food? I like food. Food's great. Meat and sausages are even better, French kiss. The Minnesota Twins are just throwing sausages at each other. Like that might be the weirdest thing you've ever heard, but I swear to you, the Minnesota Twins just like to fling their sausage at each other. And that's just the best way I can
Pause.
put it. Here we go. Every team in the majors, or most team in the most teams in the majors have a home run celebration. The Mariners bring out the Trident. The Orioles have like a splash zone thing, whatever it's called. Some teams just have the home run chain. They have a home run hat. The Twins took a different approach and they whipped out a sausage. I swear to you, like I didn't even know about this. I don't know if Zach, you knew about this, but a couple
I
days
did see
ago,
about this.
yeah, like a couple days ago, they threw a sausage at Carlos Santana and it just like straight doinked off his head and he's looking around like, what the hell? Where did the sausage come from? I don't know how long this has been going on. I read up on it and I think it's been going on since spring training and it just kind of got brought to light because Carlos Santana just got whacked with a sausage. But there's a funny story behind it in that the Twins were really worried that they were going to get their sausage taken away from them by Canadian Customs because as we're recording this, they're playing the Blue Jays, right? You have to cross the border. They were afraid that their sausage was going to get confiscated by Canadian Customs. They didn't know if the meat or whatever would be allowed to cross over the country. There's some weird rules at the border. But to my knowledge, I think that they're okay. I think the sausage is all right. Um, but I think out of every MLB team home run celebration, I think the sausage party is 1000% my favorite. What tops it? I mean, I don't know. The Yankees don't really have anything special like that. I don't know if the Mets do anything special. I know, like I said, some teams do like a spinning chain. Some teams they'll like chug beer cans. The Orioles have the splash zone, which is honestly kind of cool. But the Twins are just throwing like sausages at each other. What's better than that? I mean, this is a kid's sport, and they're enjoying it. They're little kids at heart. Go
I'm,
Twins, man! Y'all have been mashing lately.
I mean, like, this is, I don't know if this is one of the coolest things or if it's gonna be something that I'm just gonna have to warm up to, but I have never seen this ever in all my years of watching baseball as a
Hmm.
celebration. After hitting a home run, and you got all these teams, like you said, that celebrate in their different ways. You got people, especially like the Angels with like the samurai helmet,
Yeah.
and you got like you said, the trident and all that, the chains. The Mets got the apple. I don't know what you guys got. Um,
We don't got anything special. We don't celebrate meaningless home runs because we're the Bronx Bombers and we know 28 is on the
okay,
way. That's
all
when we'll
right,
celebrate.
all right, all right.
That's
Get
when
it,
we'll
get it
celebrate.
out, get it out. Come on. All right. It's just an interesting celebration to say the least. I mean,
Yeah.
I've never seen something like this happen. Like you said, Carlos Santana hit a bomb the other day, and literally the sausage just flung and
Hmm.
hit his head and flew off. Like it, and he's looking around all confused. And what just happened? What actually just happened? And you know what? It's an odd celebration. It's an odd thing to see in the MLB right now. But you know what? Maybe I'm just gonna have to warm up to it because I don't think it's going away really anytime soon.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, I mean it's a weird celebration. But in light of that, there's more bigger and better things.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go
This
ahead.
this is our, if I'm not mistaken, this is our last baseball topic, and then we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on to basketball for all you people that are here to hear our opinions a little bit. But the Tigers and Guardians, right? Yeah, sorry.
Mhm.
They're Tigers and Guardians both got new City Connect jerseys. I want to touch on the Tigers for a little bit. These have been out for a while, not too long, but we didn't really touch on it, so we're gonna insert it into this segment. The Tigers, Detroit, whatever, have Motor City on their chest, just out there for everyone. I mean, like, I feel like I've seen this kind of design or this jersey before, and I can't put my finger on it. The Phillies, there you go. The Phillies have like a similar thing where it's like dark blue and then you have like the lighter blue that kind of like contrasts it and like the letters pop. I this is like very like similar, very familiar to the Philadelphia Philly City Connect, and I'm just kind of putting that together now. And I understand it's for Motor City, like that's Detroit's like whole thing, hence like the Detroit Pistons, right? That's their whole like vibe and everything. But as opposed to creativity, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I really like this one, knowing that the Phillies kind of have something similar. I mean, granted, they kind of have like a lightning-esque type theme with like yellow and like the bell mixed into theirs, but the design itself is still very similar. So I don't really know if I like these Tigers uniforms. And I just want to know like how, and I'll get into this more with the Guardians one because I won't, be praising that one either. But how hard is it to make a good jersey? I feel like these are getting like rushed out. I don't know how long they put into like designing and thinking about these jerseys, but I feel like they could take some time and really like make a beautiful jersey. Like I don't know. I don't really like this one. It's okay. I'm sure fans of Detroit likes it, but as like an outsider, knowing that it's really similar to the Phillies or I get that vibe from it, I don't really. Zach, you can speak on this one, Zach, and then we can go on to the Guardians one.
Yeah. So Detroit's City Connect jerseys. Um, I mean they're all right. They're not really that too special, honestly. Again, like you said, you got the blue and the black, and you got kind of like what it seems to be what I'm looking at is like kind of like a raceway going straight down the
Hmm.
player's chest. Um, and then they turned the emblem on the side, the patch on the side as like kind of like a stop sign.
Hmm.
With the number and the Detroit logo.
That
Did you
that that
catch
would
that?
be a yield
Or like
sign, not a
or
stop
yield
sign.
sign, whatever. A sign, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I feel like we could have got a little more creative. I'm not saying I don't like them. I think it's kind of like mid level. Like it's not anything special, but it's not terrible. It's good enough for Detroit. It's not the best jersey. Again, they could have got more creative with it, but yeah, that's my kind of take
Hmm.
on the jerseys, new City Connect jerseys for
Hmm.
the Tigers.
Yeah. Um, I looked up the Phillies City Connect just out of curiosity as well. It's not the design itself is not entirely the same. Maybe I jumped the gun on that a little bit, but the color scheme is very similar. Both are very like darkish blue, and then it gets lighter with the other blue. The design like the pattern is different, but the color scheme is pretty much the same. So knowing that there's already a jersey out there that's very similar to it, I'm not the biggest fan of it. I think we could have done better. But I'm gonna, and also the hat just says Detroit, whatever. I'm gonna because we've spent so much time on baseball that we need to move into basketball. I'm gonna just kind of try and wrap up this segment a little bit. The Guardians City Connect jersey, I'm pretty sure it's leaked. I don't think this is official, but if by the time this video comes out, by the time you're listening, maybe it'll be deemed official, but as we're talking about it right now, it is still a leak. It is rumored, but there's photos. This is the jersey. It's very plain, right? Nothing crazy. I mean, you just have CLE on the front for Cleveland. You can kind of tell there's a little bit of like a side design on it, and I would like to see the back, but I think that the side design I think is kind of cool. It's like from what it looks like a lighter blue with white and red on it, but it's different from the dark navy blue that I feel like the dark navy blue color I think of the Guardians jersey kind of cancels it out. And I don't know. It's just very basic, very similar. I like the hat. The hat gives like a cool little retro Cleveland Indians vibe type thing. But you know, CLE on the front. That's all it is. Maybe the back has more. Maybe the pants have a design. Who knows? Guardians, eh. Nike, we got to make some better jerseys. Let's put some thought into it. Have some fans design some jerseys. Have a contest. Back in the day, they would have a contest for fans to name the teams and make uniforms. Try it out. Hire someone else. Whoever's making these jerseys, y'all got to get more creative. We need more things um like the Padres. Like I love those City Connect jerseys. Hell, even the Rockies. I mean, a lot of people are on the Rockies. I like the Rockies, right? You got the Colorado Rocky Mountain thing, and then it goes down to the pants. That's cool. The Padres, amazing, amazing. The White Sox have a really cool South Side jersey. We need more things like that, more things that represent the city itself and not just a CLE. And they tried to do that with the Tigers by doing Motor City, but they could have made it better. They could have just made it better. I think they missed the mark on both of these. So I don't know if you want to add anything, Pat, but we can just move right on to basketball if you don't.
The only thing I'm gonna say on the Cleveland City Connect jerseys is I think they're kind of clean. Other than the only knock I have personally on them is like you said, I don't really like the big CLE in the middle of the
Hmm.
chest. I feel like they could have done a little bit better than that. I think that's a little,
Yeah.
you know, lackluster to say the least. But you know, they do look kind of clean. I mean, again, I really like the hat too. It's got a pretty good retro vibe. But other than that, I mean, a lot of these jerseys, I think overall though, the best City Connect jersey that we've gotten by far is the Tampa Bay Rays. I I
Oh my
think I
gosh.
think those jerseys are amazing. I think they did
I wanna
a terrific job of those jerseys.
I wanna
Um,
I wanna apologize because I totally forgot that they had New Jerseys and I didn't put
mhm.
it in this segment. We can talk about those. Those are absolutely beautiful.
Those they
They're
did a fantastic job with
so
representing
cool.
everything that is the Tampa Bay Rays. And they look beautiful.
Hmm.
They're just that's a really really good City Connect jersey. So that's what I'm saying. Like some of these need to be looked at and like put a little more effort into the jersey.
Hmm.
Um, but other than that, like I mean, they're clean. They're both clean, but more time could have been spent on
Yeah.
on those jerseys.
I apologize for totally forgetting about the Rays. I could have added it in there, but the whole point of the segment is me and Zach, they got to do better with the jerseys. Rays, very good job. Doesn't fit the segment. So kind of works out, I guess. Uh,
It does indeed. I'm going to let you start off the basketball segment with the winner of the MVP race.
All right. So to start off with our basketball, we have three fun, right? Three. Yeah. We got some three fun, interesting topics, and it's going to be different around. We're going to kind of have a little bit of a, not so much debate, but we're going to have a little bit of discussion. We'll try and make it as quickly as we can for you guys in terms of just getting right to the point, not beating around the bush. Nikola Jokic just won his third MVP in 4 years. Round of applause to the best player in the NBA right now. Phenomenal. I know a lot of people want to throw it up in there and try and add Giannis or Joel Embiid. Just shut up. Okay, it's not. Nikola Jokic is undoubtedly the best player in the NBA. He has been for a while now. He probably will be for a long time. Um, an X user, a Twitter user, Tom Haberstroh. I apologize if I'm butchering that. Tom Haberstroh compared Nikola Jokic to every MVP since 1984, and he analyzed their supporting cast. Nikola Jokic is the only one without an All-Star, All-NBA, or All-Defensive teammate in his first 9 seasons. Okay. I think that's a testament to how good Joker is. Okay. And I know Zach, I already know Zach's disagreeing with me on the MVP pick here. I think Jokic undoubtedly deserved it over Shea, over Luca. But I'm curious to hear your argument for Shea, Zach. Let me hear it. I assume that's who you think should have won it, right?
Look, yeah, with the MVP race, it was pretty interesting, and it came, I think down to the wire a little bit for me at least. Because you got such a great talent in Jokic. I mean, nobody does what he does at his height, at his position, and contributes as much as he does to the team. It's unmatched. It's not really been seen before. He's a center that plays kind of like a point guard. He
Yeah.
facilitates his whole offense. He gets everybody involved in the play. He defends, he gets rebounds, he scores at will, he shoots threes too. So he does a little bit of everything in his game. Um, so I definitely don't think it should be, discredited or dismarked or anything like that. But I really, really, truly, strongly believe that SGA should have 100% won the MVP over Jokic. I feel like SGA has come such a long way in the NBA from the start of his career to being pretty much a nobody behind Westbrook and all that, and then actually making his way, making his path. Once Westbrook left, he became the Thunder's guy, their guy, and he was really good. Battled with injuries past couple years, wasn't really healthy on the court. And now this year, that dating up to this year, we've actually seen a fully healthy Shy and what he's capable of. So. And then he took the Thunder when he's fully healthy to the number one seed in the Western Conference. I think that needs to be noted more too. Like I think this year, in terms of this year, I do believe that he should have won. Now, also, you can't disregard Luca either. Obviously, I mean Luca's such an important part to his team. But it was really from the get-go, like really just between Jokic and Shai. There's
Mhm.
no other person in my eyes that should have either been even been considered for the MVP. Shai has grown so much. He's grown so much. He scores at will too. He's facilitator. He gets rebounds. He's shifty. It's just he has such great aspects to his game. I feel like in terms of this year, especially taking his team to the number one seed, and you know, I mean, God forbid, I don't know what they're gonna do in terms of playoff wise because they're still playing and they're down actually 2-1 at this very moment to
Mhm.
the Mavericks. I don't know what's gonna happen with that, but they swept the first round against the Pelicans. Um, but yeah, I think because of the sole fact of how far he's come in his NBA career, and the first full year that we actually get a Shy, we actually get a number one seeded Oklahoma City Thunder team, and that's a very young team too, so they're gonna be good for years to come. So yeah, that's my whole thought process on why he deserved it more than
Mhm.
Jokic this year.
Here's what I'll say. Okay. I think without Shea, I think the Thunder still make the playoffs. I don't think you can make that argument with the Nuggets. I think
Wow.
if you remove Nikola Jokic from the Nuggets, I don't see them making the playoffs. At least with the Thunder, you still have Chet, you still have Jalen Williams, you still have all the other depth and young guys there. Not saying they'd be a top team, but I could still see them making the playoffs with their grit and their intensity. Jokic, I mean, does Jamal Murray led Nuggets with what? Aaron Gordon as your number two or Michael Porter Jr. as your
Don't
number two?
discredit Aaron Gordon or Michael Porter. They're
Dude.
they're they've been very, very good, especially
Yes,
playoff
but you
wise too.
cannot have the. What I'm trying to say is I don't think they can be your number two on a playoff team or a championship team. That's why I'm saying I think Jokic is a lot more valuable to the Nuggets than Shea is to the Thunder. Because yes,
I don't
minus
know.
Shea, yes.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I feel like they're both equally valued in their own ways. Like,
That's not what I'm talking. I'm not talking about equally valued. I say Jokic is a lot more valuable to the Nuggets than Shea is to the Thunder.
That's a very
Without
debatable thing
without
to talk
Shea,
about.
right? Without Shea, the Thunder are still going to be building those assets with the draft
I don't know if
capital.
they make the playoffs though without
Yeah,
Shea.
I think they do.
I don't know.
I think they do.
Dude,
Who?
I don't
Okay,
know.
okay, okay. So
I don't
so
know.
let's talk for a second, okay? Who is the eighth
Okay.
seed this year? Who is the eighth seed this year? The Pelicans. You're telling me that the Thunder without Shea, didn't they sweep the Pelicans in the first round? You're telling me that
Yeah. Hmm?
The Pelicans are better than the Thunder without Shea. I don't see it. I think Chet Holmgren is going to develop into a great player in this league. I think he's going to be a top center. What is he? Center, right? Yeah. He'll be a top center in this league in a couple years, right? He'll take that leap. Jalen Williams, Jalen Williams is better than Aaron Gordon and MPJ. 100%. Him alone is good enough. That Nuggets team, they need Shea now, yes, but I'm saying without Shea, I think compared to the Nuggets without Jokic, I think that's
I
I know what I'm saying. I can't put it into words. The Nuggets without Jokic, they need Jokic more than the Thunder need Shea.
I honestly probably would have to respectfully disagree on
I
that,
think you're
dude.
wrong. Tell me why I'm wrong.
Dude, Shea, you're telling me that they
Do
can
the
make the
Nuggets win the
post,
finals without Jokic?
they can make the
Do the Nuggets win the finals without Jokic? Tell me. No, tell
I
me,
mean,
because they
obviously not,
there you
no,
go. Answered. Answered.
but like, it's different now. Like, we're talking about in terms of this year. Like, okay, Jokic helped.
Look,
Jokic was
you
the main catalyst in them winning the finals last year.
mhm.
But I feel like the Nuggets have a lot of depth too, so they could be a bottom seed. I mean, who is one of the bottom seeds in the West this year? What we had the Lakers
Lakers are not
and
good. They had to
the
let that
Lakers and the
go.
Pelicans, dude.
They're not
Like
good.
the Lakers and the Pelicans. You're telling me with all the depth that the Nuggets had and Jamal Murray, a healthy Jamal Murray, you don't think they
Dude,
scrape the bottom?
Jamal Murray's efficiency was not great in the first round.
But
Not great.
I really don't believe that they wouldn't. I don't. It's just like apples to oranges too with this too. Blame. I
You
mean,
love saying that, don't
I
you?
know,
Apples to
but like
oranges.
dude. I mean, shy. You're taking off 25 to 30 plus points a
You
night.
want to know
You're
why
taking off 25 to
I'm
30
not
plus
trying to
points a night.
discredit okay, and with the
And
Nuggets you'd be
minus the
taking off a
rebounds,
walking triple double.
minus the getting other guys
You're
on
taking away a
his
walking
team
triple
involved.
double. The
Dude,
Nuggets run through Jokic. He is literally their offense. He runs the ball, he makes the passes, he gets the assists. Screw Jamal Murray being a point guard. Jokic is the point guard. You take Jokic off that team, that is an entirely different team. They can't function without Jokic. They need Nikola Jokic.
are you
And,
saying that are you saying that the offense is not run through Shy on this Thunder team?
if Shea's not playing, they have Jalen Williams. They have Chet Holmgren. They have those guys. They have those guys.
I don't think
Jamal
they make
Murray.
the playoffs without him. I don't think they make the playoffs without Shy.
I think they do. I think you're really underestimating the young Thunder team. The
Dude,
name of the
okay.
game now is young. That's the name of the game. It's the
I don't think
youngness.
they make the playoffs without Shy.
Yes.
You're
Yes.
taking too much off that team without him. He gets the offense involved just like Jokic does. I think they're
Here's another
both
thing.
equally valuable to their teams.
Here's another thing, right? We've seen Shea kind of develop into this player for the past couple of years now, right? What I view it as is anytime a player gets close to Jokic, there's voter fatigue and people want to make that person the MVP. We saw it last year with Embiid. Embiid did not deserve the MVP last year. Jokic should be winning four in a row. Anytime a player comes close to Jokic in terms of stats, in terms of deserving of MVP, people are going to say, yo, that person deserves it. And I think that's what happened last year with Embiid. And I think it's happening now with Shea. And I'm not trying to discredit Shea, but I just think everyone's trying to catch up to Jokic. And anytime someone's relatively close, they think that person deserves it. But in actuality, Jokic has undoubtedly had the best season the past 4 years in terms of MVP. I understand the Thunder are the one seed, but that's not all credited to Shea. Yes, he's a big part of it, but that's not all credit to him. They have Jalen Williams. I think you're really underrating Jalen Williams and his impact. Chet Holmgren, finally healthy. He wasn't healthy last year. Let's keep that in mind. Chet Holmgren's impact is insane on the defensive end and the offensive end. I mean, Josh Giddey, child predator, whatever, but he still provides to the offense. You have Case and Wallace. You have other Jalen Williams. That Thunder team is still solid even without Shea. The Nuggets, I
Solid, but I
mean,
don't think they're a playoff team.
let's move on to the next topic. Next topic. They are a playoff. I'm
Dude,
looking up.
dude,
No, 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 no,
dude,
no,
like
no.
it's very
That no,
you're making a very controversial statement right now.
you
Like,
are.
no, you
You
are because
are.
you're saying to me that oh my God, like you're saying to me that
What I'm
if you
saying
take
is
Shea
not
off the
even
team, if
blasphemous.
you take Shea off the team, you think that they still make the playoffs. I don't think that's the
Yes.
case. I don't think that's the case.
I think the Thunder without Shea is a better team than the Nuggets without Jokic. And the fact that you think that's a crazy statement
I
is
don't think
so
that's I think that's a
baffling.
very crazy statement.
I think you're overrating Jamal Murray and you're underrating the Thunder's core. I think that's what you're doing.
I'm not when I look at when you take off Jokic, I'm not just looking at strictly just Jamal Murray. I'm
Mm,
looking at the other pieces that they
Tell me the other
have
pieces.
around.
Tell me the other pieces.
Dude, you're very discrediting
Tell me the other pieces.
Aaron Gordon, MPJ. You got guys like Caldwell Pope who actually make a difference in what they do. You got Reggie Jackson coming off the bench. You got dude, I'm telling you, the young core, or not the young core, the other pieces, the depth pieces to that squad make up more to the
Hmm.
team as
Yeah.
well. But I don't. It's hard to say if you take them off the team, who's more valuable than who, because I mean, dude, you take off Shy, I don't
The
think.
Thunder run through the Thunder. No, the Nuggets run through Jokic. Simple as that, Zach.
But are you saying that the
That
Thunder
team,
don't run through Shy or Shay?
the Thunder have other pieces. Without Shea, they can still be a
Dude,
functional unit. Zach, you're not understanding this. The Thunder without Shea, it can still be a functional unit. Yes, the Nuggets can still be solid, but that whole offense runs through Jokic. We literally watched the Nuggets play in person versus the Brooklyn Nets. That whole team ran through Jokic. Jokic was making every pass. It almost seemed like he was getting every single assist the entire game. That team run through Nikola Jokic 100%. And I think the Thunder can. I'm not saying that like now, but compared to the Nuggets without Jokic and the Thunder without Shea, the Thunder would be better off without Shea than the Nuggets would be without Jokic. And that's a fact. The fact that you
I
think
I
that's so
I
far-fetched is
think
wild.
I'm not saying it's
You
far-fetched.
are. You're saying that's blasphemous. You're saying
I'm just
that's.
saying that I feel like you're discrediting the
I'm
Shay. I
not.
really do. I really
I'm
do
not.
because his importance to that Thunder team is very like very high.
Tell me why
Very
is it
very
why?
high.
How is he so
Very high
important? How is he
because
so
he is
important?
the same I'm telling you he is close. He's not Jokic, but he's close to what he does, and he scores at an elite level like Jokic does too.
You prove
They're
my point.
very
Jokic
similar.
deserves it. You just said you proved my point.
They're they're very similar, but in terms of this
They're not
season,
very similar. In terms of this season, because the Thunder made the jump to number one, right? You think that Shea deserves MVP, is what you're saying. So,
I do believe
so
that because
by
he
saying
took
that, you're discrediting the entire rest of the Thunder lineup, is what you're doing.
I'm not discrediting
Yes,
the
you are,
entire
because
Thunder
you're saying
lineup.
because of Shea.
I'm not discrediting
Yes, you are.
the dude.
That
What?
whole success can't be
What are you
accredited
saying?
just.
Are you gonna look at me and you're gonna tell me that the offense is not run through Shea? You're gonna
The
tell me that?
offense, Shea Gilgeous is the main factor, yes, but Nikola Jokic runs the offense. There's a huge difference. The offense running through Shea and running the actual offense. Nikola Jokic runs the offense for the not the Thunder, the Nuggets.
All right. Just to save time, just to save time on this argument because we could go back and forth all day on this. Uh, comments, people that make it this far into the podcast. You let us know. Let us know what you think about Shea and Jokic and their values to their team and who should have actually won MVP. I'm curious to know what you guys think. Um, because obviously, I mean, we could do this all day, and we still have two more topics to go through.
Yeah,
So
damn.
for the sake of time, we're gonna move on from this. But yeah, we're gonna move on from this.
I do just want to point out that the
Oh
Thunder and
Lordy.
Nuggets have the same record. I do just want to point that out. They're both 57 and 25. Next topic, Zach. Let's go to the next
Next
topic.
topic. Next topic.
Congrats,
Let's
Shay. You matched Jokic's wins and losses.
next topic. Next topic. So one thing I wanna that's been swirling around, and I feel like this is an interesting topic to bring up on our pod. Uh, Jalen Brunson has been an absolute spark plug
Okay,
for this
let's
Celtics team.
let's get it out. Okay.
I'm
Let,
getting it. I'm getting it out.
let's
Can you let me get it out
just get
first?
it out
Can you
first.
can you let me get it out?
Take
Because I don't know what your hatred towards Jalen
I don't
Brunson is
have a
and the
hatred towards
Knicks.
Jalen
I
Brunson,
don't
but I
understand
know
it.
you. Fuck. Talk,
I don't
talk, talk.
understand it. You
Restart.
know what?
Gather
You know
yourself.
what?
Talk,
You know what?
talk.
I'm gonna if you let me gather myself and you let
Yeah,
me get it out, I'm gonna get it out.
get it out.
In terms of looking back on Carmelo Anthony's career, is Jalen Brunson better than Carmelo Anthony and what he did for the Knicks? Me personally, I think he's already in just a short time with the Knicks past Melo. You could disagree. You could disagree, but this dude is an absolute demon. I mean, like, unlike no other. Like, I have never seen a shiftier guard. Like, he just goes at anybody and he scores at will. He makes clutch shots. He comes up in clutch situations. And again, this is not to discredit Melo. I think Melo was great on the Knicks. I think Melo should have stayed on the Knicks for longer than he did. Just they parted ways a little soon.
He asked for a trade.
Yeah, but again, I think it doesn't matter. That doesn't discredit what I just said. I think he should have stayed on the Knicks and played it out a little further than he did. But I want to point this out. I want to point this out too because I have this pulled up. Jalen Brunson currently in the 2024 playoffs is averaging 34.6 points per game, along with 8 assists and grabbing 4 boards.
What's the efficiency? Show me the efficiency.
I don't got that pulled up.
How many of the 30
I don't got
shots a
that
night
pulled
is
up.
he making?
I don't got that pulled. I don't
You go
have the
continue.
efficiency. Okay, it doesn't.
No,
He
I mean
he
I could
comes
score
up.
100. I could
He
score 100
okay
points, but if it
okay.
takes me 100 shots on
Look,
60 attempts,
look,
600
look at
attempts, I mean,
this.
yeah, that's
Look, look. You're telling me you're gonna look at me and you're gonna bitch and complain about this, but in reality, this dude, this person we're talking about, Jalen Brunson, he was out. I want to because this is very important to me and to this team. He was out.
to
The
me. What do you mean to me?
he was he was out.
No, 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 no. What
No,
do
no,
you mean
stop,
to me?
stop,
What do you
stop.
mean to
Because
me?
you are trying to derail right now.
No, I want to know what
No,
you
no.
mean by to me. Are you
To
implying you're a
me,
Knicks fan?
to me, I'm talking about can I get it out? Can I get it out? Can
I'm
I
not.
are
I
you
was
gonna let me get it
quiet.
out?
Continue.
Are you gonna let me get it out?
I haven't said a word.
Okay. In game two, he was out the entire almost the entire first half. Came in and scored damn near over 20 points and played such a big factor in them winning game two. He scores at will. He gets the offense involved. That whole core too, him, Josh Hart, DiVincenzo, that Villanova core, the Knicks have grit. He's a gritty player and he will score and do whatever he can to help this team win. Why are you doing that? Like you
I
discredit him. I
First off,
feel
I just
like
want to say, I want to say, first off, that this Knicks team is better than any team Melo was ever given. Okay. I just want to put that out there. Okay. And I'm not a Knicks fan. I, okay. Can't say that word. I don't like the Knicks. Okay. It's not known by now. I am a Nets fan. Yes. But it's so disrespectful. It's so disrespectful that people are already saying Jalen Brunson is a better New York Knick than Carmelo Anthony. It's recency bias, okay? What has Jalen Brunson done? Oh, okay. I'll read the doc, right? He's more playoff points. This number is going to change because when we upload this, there's going to be more games. He has what, two more playoff points than Carmelo Anthony. Okay, that's it. But what has Jalen Brunson done? Has he won an MVP? Has he brought them to the conference finals? He might honestly this year. Who knows? Has he brought them to the finals? Have they won the finals? Granted, Melo hasn't done any of this stuff. So other than that, what has Jalen Brunson done to say he's a better Nick than Carmelo Anthony? Carmelo Anthony was a what, a 10-time All-Star, during his Knick tenure. What has Jalen Brunson done? This is what, his second year, third year in New York? I think it's so disrespectful. And I think it's just a lack of talent and a lack of, yay, we're good from Knicks fans over the years that they're just so eager to jump on the Jalen Brunson train and turn their back on Carmelo Anthony. When also keep in mind, like I said, that the Knicks, this is the best roster they've had in a while, better than any time they've had with Melo.
okay,
It's
okay.
it's so disrespectful to
I want to
Carmelo
say this.
Anthony.
I want to say this too because you were the person too that put this on our doc. You said you put this. I'm reading the words that you wrote. Jalen Brunson, in terms of playoffs, Jalen Brunson already has more playoff points than
I
Carmelo
did I
Anthony
not just say
in
that though?
seven
Did
seasons.
I not just
In
say that?
seven
Did I
seasons.
not just say that though?
In seven
Did I
seasons.
did I not just say that though?
Seven
Why are
seasons.
you
No,
rereading what I just said?
no. I don't care. I don't care.
Dude,
I don't
you're
care if you said it or you didn't. Seven seasons. Seven seasons. 7 seasons. It took Melo to get 589 playoff points. Jalen Brunson, in just 2 short years, two, 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 not seven, two, 591 points. 591 points. That's I feel like you can't, like I said, I
Hmm.
said this too, but you wanna just blow up too. I
Yeah.
said you can't
No,
discredit what Melo did for the team.
Carmelo Anthony has only made the playoffs 3 times with the Knicks. That's it. That's it. If Jalen Brunson can surpass that, good for him. But I think it's so disrespectful to
Correct
say
me if
that
I'm
he's
wrong.
a
Correct me
better
if I'm wrong.
Knick
Jalen Brunson's two
when
for
he hasn't
two
done
so far.
anything. When he
Is he
hasn't done
not? Is
anything.
he not?
What has
Jalen
Jalen
Brunson's
Brunson
two for
done? Has
two.
he won a championship for the Knicks? Has he brought them to the conference
He's
finals
only been
yet?
there for
At the
two
moment,
years.
no. He
He's
hasn't
only
done
been there
anything.
for two
Yes, because he
years.
was given a better roster than Melo was ever given. Basketball's not like you still need people around him. And it pisses me, like straight up pisses me off that you're sitting here pretending you're a Knicks fan when you're not. You're just not. And you think you know everything when you know jack shit, Zach. You're not a Knicks fan. And you're
Dude,
you're freaking laughing too, because you're not. You're not. You're not a Knicks fan. So stop pretending to be a Knicks fan. You're
I'm not
not.
pretending. I'm
Yes,
not
you
pretending. I'm not
I
pretending.
might you might make me walk off. I don't I say fuck the last topic. You might make me just walk off the show.
I'm
You're
not
not
pre-
a Knicks fan.
I'm not pretending.
You're not a Knicks fan. You're
Dude,
not a Knicks fan.
in terms of what we're talking about, again, you can't discredit Melo. You can't. And I'm saying that to you. But dude, honestly, if you look back, I don't remember the exact team that he had. Did he
You
not have
didn't
did he
watch.
did
You're not a Knicks fan because you can't name two teammates Melo has ever had because you've never watched a Knicks game in your life. And you know what I'm telling that you're mute. I can't hear you unless my thing is true. Are you talking? Oh, I'll talk for a second, guys. Zach's having some issues here. Okay, so I'll say my piece a little bit. My piece is I think yeah, Jalen Brunson could very well be a better Nick when it's all said and done. Okay, I'm not gonna deny that. But after 2 years, that's wild to say. It's wild to say after 2 years or 1 year that he's a better Nick all time than Carmelo Anthony. If you want to look at playoff points as your indicator, then go for it. But it's still so disrespectful in my opinion because Carmelo Anthony was the face of the Knicks. And as opposed to
And
Jalen
Jalen
Brunson,
Brunson's already the
shut
face
up.
of the
I'm
Knicks.
talking. I'm talking.
Jalen Brunson's
Carmelo Anthony didn't have his best buddies from college team up with him, right?
what does
He
that
they
matter?
Jalen Brunson has Josh. The Knicks would be a totally different team without Josh Hart and DiVincenzo. Let's not pretend like that's a crazy statement.
I'm not pretending, but I'm saying
Carmelo Anthony also didn't have an OG Anunoby. He didn't have an Isaiah Hartenstein. He didn't have these guys. He didn't have a Miles McBride. He didn't have these people.
nah,
The
because
Knicks have a very
now
good
you're gonna
team.
make me look it up.
The Knicks have a very good team. They have a very good team right now. Melo did not have as good of a roster. I'm just putting that out there. And if you're a Knicks fan, you wouldn't have to look it up. You would just know. If you asked me to
No,
name the
no,
Nets, if you asked me to name the Nets playoff roster from 2017 or 2019, every year it was, I could tell you. But you're not a Knicks fan, so you don't know.
no. This is,
Oh,
because I don't want to
should we
say
look it
the
up?
wrong thing. I
Should we look it
know,
up?
I feel like I know. Oh my God. Oh my God. So 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 he
Mhm.
had guys like Tyson Chandler. He had he had Amari Stoudemire, right? He had J.R. Smith. He had Iman Shumpert. So those four guys alone are a really, really good core, a really better. I don't arguably, arguably, and have done no, not arguably. They have done more personally, career wise, than Josh Hart and Dante DiVincenzo. Now, Dante DiVincenzo and Josh Hart
So
are
because they're bigger names, that they're better. Is that what you're saying? Yeah,
that
yeah,
is not what I'm saying.
yeah.
You're telling me those guys were bad when they were on the Knicks? Is that what you're trying to say?
The Knicks roster right now is better than what it was when Melo had it.
The Knicks are
That's what I'm
hurt.
saying.
Knicks are hurt. The Knicks are hurt.
Mhm,
Knicks are hurt.
mhm.
They haven't had OG. OG just got hurt. Mitchell Robinson just got hurt. 6-8 week.
Why are we talking about them being hurt? Are they not on the roster? Have they not played?
I mean, they've played, but in terms
Okay,
of
so then
playoffs
why are we talking
too,
about them being
and play,
hurt?
in terms of playoffs too, they have not. They've barely
So,
played.
then why are
Some of
you
them have barely gotten going.
barely played? OG's missed what, like one game?
Bogdanovich, you're telling me him too. You mentioned him.
Bogdanovich is a non-factor. Let's be real.
He barely played.
He's a
He barely played.
non-factor. He's a non-factor.
OG's played mostly. OG's
Bogdanovich
played.
is a non-factor. You
OG's
can't
played.
bring up
OG's
Bogdanovich.
played
The Knicks
mostly.
got worse trading for Bogdanovich and Burks. You could fact check that.
There's no way you just said that.
You could fact check that. They got
There's
worse.
there's no way you just said that.
Literally, like I have the tweet saved somewhere. Hold on. No, because I know what I'm talking about.
Oh man. Oh man.
Don't oh
Dude,
man me.
dude. I mean, but there was so many other people on that roster. Didn't wasn't Jeremy Lin a
Stop.
teammate too of Mr.
S-
Carmelo Anthony?
Stop it.
Insanity run.
Zach,
I'm
Jeremy
just
Lin
saying.
was good
I'm
for
just
like a year.
I'm just pointing out some facts. That's all I'm doing.
So you're telling me that Melo's roster that he had, whatever, it was better than what the Knicks have now. Because if you are, you're
It,
just stupid.
it's
Flat out.
debatable. It's
No,
debatable.
no,
Dude, dude, dude. It's very highly debatable.
no,
It's
I don't
very
think
high,
it is.
especially the Knicks don't even have. Sure, on the roster, sure, they're on the roster, but they're injured. They don't have Julius Randle too, and now you could argue that. Julius Randle.
Proved my point even further. Better roster now than back then. Thank you, Zach. I forgot about Randall. Thank you. Wow, you're talking about DiVincenzo, Josh Hart, Hartenstein, and OG. We didn't even mention Julius Randle. Yeah, I know he hasn't played, but still a better roster. Thank you.
Dude, you are all over the place. And again, again, again. I'm just
I'm
gonna.
all over the
You know
place.
what? You know what? You know what? You know what? Again, because we're gonna have to do this now. We're gonna have to do this now for the sake of time. For the sake of time. For the sake of time. Please, in the comments,
Can I say one thing?
settle the debate.
Can I say one thing?
Please.
Can
Go
I say one
ahead.
thing?
Say it. Say it.
I
Get
think
it out of the
when
way.
it's all said and done, if Brunson keeps playing what he's doing, I think he could be the best Nick of all time. No doubt about it. But he's played 1 year. Give him some more years. Give him two. Who gives a
Two,
shit? Who gives a
2
shit?
years.
Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? What the? What? What did you do?
I don't know. I
What
don't know.
was that?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Wait,
I don't know.
okay.
I don't know.
Let me put it like this. Let me put it like this. Brunson's played a year, 2 years, whatever. Give him more time. Let him build up his accolades and his resume. If he makes the conference finals this year, which it could be, but who knows? Halliburton and Nemhard and Miles Turner, Siakam, they could pull it out. You never know. But if they make the conference finals
Oh
good,
my
add to the
God.
resume. If they make the finals good, add to the resume. Let Jalen Brunson keep cooking. Let him keep being an all-star. Let him keep, who knows, maybe be MVP votes. Let him keep building that accolades with the Knicks and then come back to me and tell me he's a better Knick all time than Carmelo Anthony. Then come
Okay.
back to me.
I will. I
Did,
will.
did, did Max
I will because
Scherzer,
you're gonna look foolish. You're gonna look foolish.
foolish?
You're gonna look foolish.
I'm like foolish.
For the it's late.
Is
It's
Max Scherzer the
late,
best Met of
Matt.
all time? Is Max Scherzer the best Met of all time?
No.
Oh, why? Why?
What do you what do you
That's what you're
why?
saying. Because
What do you mean
you
why?
have to give him more. You can't just say it off a year, off one good year. You have to give him more. Saying that Jalen Brunson is the best Nick after 1 year is so disrespectful to
First
Carmelo
of all,
Anthony.
first of all, first of all, first of all, again, you're comparing two different sports.
Let me guess.
Two different
Apples
sports.
to oranges.
No,
Apples to oranges.
no.
It's like
You're
apples to
comparing.
oranges. You
You're
got to get that on
comparing.
a shirt. We're gonna our first Uno Ball merch. Apples to oranges right here. That's what you're gonna do.
It is two different, very different things.
Not really. I'm comparing an
Two different
all-time
sports.
great.
I'm telling you right now, Max Scherzer was good for 1 year. And you know what? You know what? He was not even good in the playoffs. He was not good in the playoffs.
Well, you said he
In
was good for one
2022,
year.
he
You
was
said he
good
was
for
good
the
for
regular
1 year.
season.
That's what I'm
Regular
trying to
season.
say about
He wasn't
Brunson.
even good for
Give
a full
Brunson
year.
a couple years. That's all I'm saying.
He wasn't even good for a full year because he shit the bed in the playoffs. We only made it to the wild card round, so he shit the bed in the only playoff game he played for the Mets. Last year, he blew chunks, and that was attributed to a lot of different injuries and a lot of different aspects that went wrong for him.
You should have got
But
Earl for this. Actually, Earl's not a Knicks fan either. Sorry, Earl, you're not.
but in terms of Jalen Brunson's been with the team 2 years. Jalen Brunson's made the playoffs 2 years in a row. Now, the more he does,
But
the
what did
more
he
he
do last year though
solidify.
in the playoffs? I'm just
They
curious.
lost. They
Yeah,
lost
in the first round, right?
in
Second round? His second round.
first.
Was it the first second round?
See, this is
I'm not a
this
Knicks
is what
fan.
I'm
I'm
saying.
asking the supposed Knicks fan. Answer the freaking question. What happened last year in the playoffs? I want to know. I don't know. My team got swept in the first round. I can tell you that. What did the Knicks do?
They got beat by the Heat in I believe the second round.
Okay, believe. You should know. You're
My
oh,
God, it's all right. We have to move on to the last topic. We have to
yes,
get through it
please. I
pretty
want to go to
quick.
bed.
We have to get through it pretty quick. So
Okay.
please, in the comments, settle those two: Jokic MVP, Jokic and Shai MVP, and Jalen Brunson, Carmelo Anthony. Please settle it. Go settle it. Do your thing. Anthony Edwards is our last topic of the night. You, Deej, you introduce it. You
Thank
introduce it. Go
God.
ahead.
Okay. Anthony Edwards is being compared to Michael Jordan, the greatest player to ever play the game of basketball. Anthony Edwards, quote, I want people to be like this Anthony Edwards kid. He got his own style. He maybe got a mix of MJ in him, but I can shoot the three, so I think that makes me a little different than Michael Jordan. Basically, people are comparing Anthony Edwards, his moves, just his gameplay, his style of everything. People are saying he's the next Michael Jordan. Those are some very big words, and it's something we want to talk about. He wants to be the first Anthony Edwards. He wants to be the first of many of him, not the next Michael Jordan. He wants to make his own name. So I want to get Zach's opinion. I want to get your guys' opinion as well. Comment down below. Zach, what do you think about this? Is Anthony Edwards the next Michael Jordan? That's a pretty big ask of a player.
It's a pretty bold ask, but I don't think he's the next Michael Jordan. I think he is his own player. He is his own different type of player. It's kind of hard to compare him to Michael Jordan. I mean, especially because maybe certain plays look like 1984 Jordan, and his rookie year too. It may look similar towards Jordan, but it's not. It's not Jordan. It's not Jordan. It is Anthony Edwards, and we're in a new era of basketball. We're in a
Mhm.
newer era of basketball. So it's kind of hard to look back and compare him to Michael Jordan, but again, he's been phenomenal, and I think he's really starting. I mean, he's been good since he came into the league. He's been really good since he came into the league, but I think now he's really starting to see these bigger guys and to look at these bigger guys
Mhm.
and be like, I'm gonna take what you have. You are not in your prime anymore. He did that with Durant. He did that with Durant first. I don't know how the Nuggets series is gonna go. I don't know if he's going to move on or if the Nuggets are going to respond back. They won game three. It's 2-1 in the series right now as we film this. Um, but he's looking at these older guys. He did it with Durant. He's looking at these older guys and he's saying, I don't care who you are or what you did in the past. I'm going to go after you and I'm going to attack you and I'm gonna take everything you got because I want to win. I
Mhm.
want my team to win. I want my team to make it further, and I want to reach that mountaintop. I want to win that championship. So I think I think it's not really his game. I think what's really striking everybody with the comparison between Edwards and Jordan is the mentality and the
Mhm.
fierce competitiveness of Edwards because he's attacking, because he's going for it all, and he won't take no for an answer. He won't take a loss for granted. And you know what? Even in the loss in game three, he even said it himself. He said it on the bench. Saw clips all over Twitter. It's a series. Don't worry, guys. It's a series. It's a long series. So with that being said, I think that's why everybody's kind of, oh, he's Michael Jordan. He is Michael Jordan from the past. He is that now. It's because of his fierce competitiveness. It's because of his mentality and the way he goes about playing the game of basketball. That's my kind of
Mhm.
observation on the whole Anthony Edwards and Michael Jordan debate.
Mhm. Yeah, I think that's the first like logical thing you've said all night, and I was honestly kind of surprised by it. He wants to make a name for himself. Don't shake your head. Let Come on, don't shake your head. Oh, I just do want to point out I forgot to mention Lou Dort. So screw you, Zach. Lou Dort, another name from
Why are
Thunder.
we going
Let's.
back?
I'm
Let's not go
trying
back.
to continue the topic
Go
of.
ahead. Go ahead.
I'm
Go
just
ahead.
saying I forgot Lou Dort adds to my argument.
Go ahead. Finish. Finish. Finish it.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Okay.
Lost
All
my
right.
train of thought. He wants to be. He wants the mentality's there. Comparing someone to Michael Jordan, there will never be another Michael Jordan. Right? There will never be another LeBron James. So I think that Anthony Edwards' response to this is honestly perfect. He wants to be the first or the only Anthony Edwards and not the next Michael Jordan. And I think that's the best thing you can say. Stay humble. The Timberwolves shocked a lot of people this year, myself included. Him, Cat, Gobert for years to come, hopefully for years to come, they're gonna make the Timberwolves a very nasty team. If they can beat the Nuggets, props to Edwards, props to them. Can he be as good as Michael Jordan? Who knows? Right? I mean, it's a very tall order to ask. I find it very hard for someone to ever surpass Michael Jordan or LeBron James status, but never say never. You never know who's out there in this world. But he'll be the first Anthony Edwards, not the next Michael Jordan. I liked his response. I think it's perfect. Zach, like I said, the first logical thing you said all day. So I agree.
Okay. All righty then. With that being said, that wraps up a pretty huge episode of Do No Ball. We will catch you guys in the next episode. It'll be next weekend. We hope to have a guest on. Um, Maybe we'll see how that goes. But yeah, we'll catch you guys next time, and we'll see you in episode 22.